wife wouldn't forgive me. I didn't take the gum out. Okay, well, it was obviously a tale of two halves, and thankfully we scored enough points in the first half to get the victory. Thought our guys played about as good as we could hope for them to play in the first half, and then obviously the lateral fumble changed everything, changed the momentum of the game. It's about as much as you can change the momentum in a game, and things were just going poorly for us, obviously. We basically, took their very best shot in the second half because they had their blood pumping, they were excited, they were scoring points, they were closing down the gap, and we needed, somebody needed to make a play. And there's a lot of big plays in the game, obviously, but I thought the defensive call to bring Corey Moore on the blitz was big. It was gutsy. I was with him. I was about to tell him, go sick him, and but he called it. Coach Grantham called it, before I could even get it out of there, and I just told him I was with him 100%. Because those types of calls can, go the other way too, obviously. And but we got a big sack there, turned the thing around, and then our offense was able to finish. And I don't know how many close spots there were, or great efforts there were just to get that first down, barely get the first down, to the point where we never had to give them a chance to touch the ball again. That was a great way to finish the game. But a lot of good things happened. Marshall Morgan obviously actually made 4 field goals. I think only 3 of them counted, but they called timeout at the end, made him kick it again, and I thought he showed a lot of poise, made a long kick. I don't know how long that one was, but probably was that at least 50 or 49-ish? Yeah. So it was close to 50-yarder, which in pregame the wind was blowing in the face, and we weren't going to try one that far. But I felt like the wind had died down just enough where we could take a shot at it, and he drilled it, which was great. But really, pregame, we had already decided that was too far. But then he came through, which was big. I thought Coach Oliver-Dottie did a good job on our kickoff team, strategically trying to keep it from number 83. We did kick it to him once or twice, but we didn't want to put the ball in his hands again. I thought we had a good plan for that. Thought everybody kind of came through with that. Nate Theus did a good job going back in there as our punt snapper. He continued as our extra point field goal snapper. Thought he did a nice job. And a lot of other really good things that happened I can't think of right now. So I'll open it up.
Mark, was it your intention to get Todd touches that early? Did you just want to shake the butterflies at him, so to speak?
Well, I mean, our system, I'd say 60 to 70% of the time, our tailback touches the ball, period, no matter who it is, so it wasn't all that unusual to get him the ball. The touchdown pass to him was really, it was a situation where he was the main receiver, and if it wasn't an all-out blitz, then he was just going to try to run a man-to-man route versus whoever covered him, or if it was zone, he'd sit it down. But if they brought the heat, if they blitzed, he was going to run what we call a vertical hot. A lot of the hot routes are usually in the flat and things of that nature, and when a back goes sideways, defenders tend to peel off on him. But if a back goes downhill, they tend to think he's blocking, and they just keep coming. And we slipped through. The key is, can you get through there without getting knocked around? And he was able to do that. And or Aaron did a good job of getting him the ball. And then it was just a matter of we ran routes to get every heck out of the way, and it's just going to be him and the safety. And he was able to make him miss and score, which was big. And that kind of gassed him. It gassed him a little bit, and I think his stomach got a little upset. And we had to try to calm that down a little bit and rest him up a little bit and get him back in there. But yeah, we wanted to. I mean, I really was visualizing him carrying it 25, 30 times, quite frankly, but just wasn't around to do it.
Mark, what did you tell them at halftime with a 20-point lead? What did you tell the guys?
Well, I said we got to learn how to finish a game. which, you know, they didn't listen very good. No, I think they listened, but we had a lateral on a play that shouldn't have been a lateral. It was very close, and it just turned the momentum. And then that's how football is. It's just, I mean, somebody was asking me about how pleased I was in the first half and all that. And walking off the field, I said, that's only a half. It's only a half. You got to understand, college football, SEC football, this rivalry, you know, you can't just sit there and start getting excited. You can be, as a fan, you can be happy about what happened in the first half, but to sit there as a coach or a player and to sit there and think, well, we got them. There was never a time we thought we got them. We knew we had to keep fighting. And you know, hopefully, I was hoping we could keep playing the way we were and not give them life, but it didn't happen that way.
Coach, what is it about this team that
this one, our team here?
This team that all the games seem to come down this way, regardless of how
Yeah, I don't know. They like it. They must like it. I don't like it. That's it. Makes you wonder. This is really a good way to make a living, but it's crazy.
But you got a little heated in the second half there.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Got a little heated in the second
Yes.
half there. And just motion.
Well, yeah, I mean, these guys are competitors. These guys, it's a bitter rivalry. I mean, we were getting our guys revved up. I guarantee they're getting their guys revved up before the game. And we want them, their blood pumping, and we want them to be able to compete fiercely and without any flags, you know, but it got a little carried away. And, you know, with the new rule, we really had to keep track of who the heck had a foul, because if you get two unsportsmanlike conducts, you're kicked out of the game. And so we had to really do a good job. And even when Murray had it at the very end, I'm thinking about maybe taking him out of the game, because if he gets another one, he's out in the next game. But put a new quarterback in, fumble the snap. I mean, I got all the faith in Hudson Mason, but if something weird happened, then you're an idiot. So I didn't want to do that. But it's just a highly competitive game, and you hope you can keep from having those flags, but it didn't shock me.
Did you feel the game slipping away from you in the fourth quarter?
Oh yeah, it was slipping away. I mean, we knew we lost momentum. We knew that they were gaining ground on us. Obviously, I mean, anybody could watch the game and know that. I mean, I never felt like, oh boy, we're going to lose it. I never thought that, but I knew we better settle down here pretty quick and turn this thing around. And even when I went for it on fourth down and short, back in our territory, I mean, I was almost thinking that, you know, we're either going to get it. If we don't, if they score, well, then they score. Then let's go try to get a touchdown, because, you know, it might have even been better for us if they took the lead and all of a sudden we're like, we know we could be as aggressive as we want to be, as we need to be. But anyway, the defense came through at the end as well as the offense.
Could you talk about the Corey Moore play? Because
yeah, it was a big call. I really almost said to Coach Grantham, you know, go sick him, go get him. And when, you know, I'm saying that, I'm saying, you know, bring the house, you know, bring more than they can block, play man coverage with no safety help, and let's just see what the heck happens, one way or the other. Something big's going to happen one way or the other. And I held my tongue on it, and he called the blitz, and I'm like, I'm with you 100%, and I really was. You know, good thing, bad thing happened. I mean, they could have thrown a little wide receiver tunnel screen or something and just walked in for a touchdown or something like that. But as it turned out, they had a drop back pass, and it's tough to protect when you bring that many.
Mark,
Just
on
want
the
something
fourth
to
down
happen.
play, did
Well,
they
you just
string
want-
that out a little bit?
I'll get both of you. I'll go you and then you.
On
I'm
the
sorry.
fourth down play, did he string that run out a little bit too far, too wide?
Gurley, I couldn't see from where I was. I mean, it was a direct snap between Murray's legs, and we were trying to make him look like Sneak. And we figured they probably would talk about, watch out for something out the backside, but we did have a lead blocker for it, so we thought with Gurley, you know, if he could get downhill somehow, we thought he'd knock somebody back, even if they sniffed it out a little bit. But I really couldn't see from my vantage point. And Florida just did a great job of defending it.
You just wanted something to happen at that moment in the game, the second few seconds that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it had just gotten into a lull or something?
Well, you know, momentum, I was trying to get some momentum back in our direction. If we made it, that would have been a big momentum play for us. If we didn't make it, I mean, we were already losing ground anyway, so let's lose it faster. And then maybe if we get behind, then all of a sudden we'll snap out of this thing and start playing with a different mindset. So, it was
You were
kind of
concerned
like,
about the mindset at the time?
well, yeah, I didn't think our guys were giving in or whatever, but, you know, when the momentum swings, it's hard to get it back. Somehow, you need to get it back, and a lot of times it's because of somebody making a big play or getting a big fourth down and short, you know,
Can you
that
recall
type of thing.
something shifting like that much in the last 13 years here?
I don't know.
From 17 points or whatever it was.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, last weekend, South Carolina did it to Missouri. I mean, that was big, and, back when I coached at Florida State, we were down 28 in the fourth, came back and won. Now, that's the only thing that could compare to it as a coach, but not a Georgia. I can't remember Georgia.
Mark, what do you take me through the play?
I'm sorry?
What was Florida's offense, and specifically Taylor Murphy, able to do that kind of caught you off guard in the second half?
I don't think it caught us off guard. I think they got really good field position because of some of our mistakes, and then he used his athleticism on some design QB runs and some scrambles. We did a poor job a couple times of hemming him up in the pocket, trying to keep him there, and he broke contained to the right and got some big yards, and that was in the middle of all the momentum swing, and you know, it was just one of those situations where he did what he's capable of doing. It wasn't anything that was surprising though. They didn't do anything they didn't do anything brand new to us.
Mark, what is
You
Aaron
kind of
Murray's?
mentioned about having Todd back and how much of a lift that was, but it seems like it's not just a lift to the offense. It seems like the whole team kind of fed off of what he was doing early on in that game.
Well, yeah, when you score 14 points to start the game, 14-0, everybody gets excited, and then you kick a long field goal, and before you know it, 17-0. I mean, everybody got fired up, and Todd was certainly the catalyst for that.
Coach, what'd you
What
think
is
about
Aaron-
Michael Bennett?
What is Aaron Murray's poise meant to in these types of games, especially with a heated rivalry?
I thought Aaron did a really good job. He did a really good job. He managed it well. I've seen him earlier in his career with his eyes a little wider, you know, and he was fine.
Were you surprised he got a personal foul penalty? That's really.
I don't even know what happened, but it's an emotional game, you know. You never know what was said or what he said or what he thought somebody did to his teammate. I mean, I have no idea what happened, but he's a competitor too.
Coach, what'd you think of Michael Bennett's game tonight?
I thought Michael played well. I thought he was made some really tough catches in tight coverage, which is what he does, and which is what you have to do against this Florida defense because they do cover you so tight. I think they're the best cover corners in the league and maybe in the country. And when they lock up on you, it's hard to get separation. But if you use body position and you reach out and snatch the ball, no matter how tight the coverage, if the ball's put in the right spot, you can make the play. And that's what Michael's been able to do versus Florida the last couple of years.
Mark, obviously this has SEC East implications, so what's the significance of 3 straight over Florida in your mind?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just thankful, really and truly. I know we did have Coach Dooley come by and speak to our team this week, and that's one thing he mentioned. He said, and I didn't know the stat, but he said, you know, if we win, it'd be the first time we get 3 in a row in like 30 years or something. And I was quite frankly kind of embarrassed if that was the truth. But that's where this series has gone, and it's nice to, you know, at least to this point, get it turned around a little bit.
You seem a little more almost kind of subdued compared to other.
Yeah.
Is it because
Yeah.
winning 3 in a row is
No,
bad?
no, it's because we're winning 23-3 or whatever. I mean, what was the score at halftime?
23-3, that
You
was
know.
the score.
And then we about lost the doggone thing. That's why I'm subdued right now, because I'm trying to get over it.
Coach, how much difference did having Gurley back make for your team today?
Well, you guys can probably judge that for yourself, but he's a really great player. Obviously, he showed that again as a runner, as a route, as a receiver. But the things that the fans don't see is every day in practice. He's a fun guy in practice. He reminds me a little bit of No-Shawn. No-Shawn had fun every day in practice. He got guys kind of fired up. You couldn't have a boring practice because, you know, he's going to say something funny and something to get the guy's spirits going. And Todd's got that kind of personality as well.
Coach,
Artie
that
Lynch.
play call on Aaron Murray's 73-yard pass to Gurley at the beginning of the game.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Can you take me through the play call that went
Right.
to Murray?
It was just a halfback option route where versus zone he sits it down versus man he runs away from the defender, and then if it's a blitz he was gonna run what I said earlier was a vertical hot, meaning he's gonna run through the line of scrimmage, has no blocking responsibility. That's what a hot route is. Most hot routes by backs are sideways. And when you do that, a defensive player can peel on him. He starts a rush, sees the back go out in the flat, and he'll get in his hip and cover him. But when backs go downhill, they assume they block most of the time, and then whoever's responsible for him continues to rush the passer, thinking that he's accounted for. But he slipped on through there, and we hit him out in space.
Actually, a couple of tough plays for Artie Lynch.
Right. Well, the one, obviously, I don't know what the other one was.
I don't know whether it's his responsibility when Purifoy blitzes over there on that side.
On the
He didn't
back
chip
side
him.
there?
Yeah, he didn't do anything with him.
No, he had a route there. He had a route there. So, that was not Artie's.
But the play, he
Yeah.
doesn't fall on the ball. Obviously, the play
Yeah.
is designed to be a lateral. He just didn't think.
Yeah. All he thought was he dropped the ball. And then, when guys drop the ball, they hit themselves in the head or they clap one time. If you study it, we've done a study on that. If they drop the ball, they go, or they go. And I think he did that. Which one did he do?
Head.
Hit his head.
And Neil.
Hands to the head.
Yeah, and just like, gee whiz, I blew it.
How much money did you put into that study?
When you watch film every day of practice and you see a guy drop the ball, you tend to, every once in a while you get a double clap, but usually it's a clap or it hits yourself in the head.
Mark, did the last drive feel like South Carolina in terms of running out the clock?
I forgot what happened in South Carolina. I'll be honest with you. I was just very thankful that we finished it. Didn't give them the ball, and in the very end, I guess they had a penalty. I don't even know what that penalty was. Called a face mask. So, because we really were going to have to make a decision, and if anybody wants to know, we were going to go ahead and attempt the field goal, which I wasn't too thrilled about that either because it could have got blocked and all that kind of stuff. But then if we did score, we'd have to kick it again, and that was not good. But if you also give them a chance to only have to move the ball far enough to kick a field goal, that's a problem too. So after a lot of debate, we said if the ball was 4th and 1 or less, we'd probably try to go for it. If it was anything more than that, we would try to kick a field goal.
Last question.
As far as the SEC East goes, you can look back at that drive and maybe see that was a key moment.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I hope so. There's so many key moments in the season so far, and there'll probably be a few more key moments before it's all over. We've got some work to do still. We have 2 more SEC games to go, and hopefully whoever's playing Missouri can beat them.